I am California of the past.
I am California of the past.
I
I am
am
California of the past.
My name is Pauline Lemire, and I'm the current president of the Historical Society of Monterey Park. We are in the Scudder corner of the museum in Garvey Ranch Park, and this corner has all of that we have of Laura Scudder's pictures and information about her life here in Monterey Park. This is a picture of Laura, and she was a woman before her time. She was born in Philadelphia, and her parents moved to Trenton, New Jersey, where she entered a hospital as a student nurse. And in those days, the nurses would work all day in the hospital and then have classes in the evening. But once they graduated, the hospitals did not hire them, and so they worked in private homes. In 1907, after she graduated, she married Charles Scudder, whom she had met as a patient in the hospital. After they married for a few years, they moved to Ukiah, California, and she opened a restaurant there. And the restaurant was located directly across from the courthouse, and so many of her customers were judges and lawyers, and they encouraged her to study law, which she eventually did, and passed the California bar and was admitted to practice also in the U.S. federal courts. Although she never did practice law, she was indeed a lawyer. They eventually moved in 1920 to Monterey Park, and we have a picture of the home that they built on the corner of Garvey and Atlantic. And if you were to walk by that corner, it's on the northeast corner, there is a plaque in the sidewalk in the cement that denotes the fact that she did live there. They opened a gas station, and that didn't last very long because it was pretty ramshackle, so they built a second one made all out of steel. In order to increase their income, they built a building along Garvey Avenue, a brick building, but unfortunately were never able to find a tenant for it. So eventually she decided to try her hand at making potato chips, and so the building was used for that purpose, and she hired a lot of mostly the women in the Monterey Park community to work there. At that time, potato chips were sold in bulk, and oftentimes by the end of the stash you would get only crumbs, and sometimes they weren't always very fresh. And Laura Scudder was determined that her potato chips would be of the utmost quality. And so every night the ladies who worked in the potato chip factory would bring home wax paper and iron it into bags. And so she started then putting all of her potato chips in bags for distribution to the stores. Originally they did it in the family car and then moved on to a panel truck. Well, that wasn't big enough, and so she wanted to buy more trucks, and she had named the potato chips Mayflower. She did buy a fleet of trucks eventually, but had great difficulty in getting insurance because she was told that because she was a woman, she wouldn't be in business 3 months. But she did eventually get the insurance, had the fleet of trucks. After she did what she wanted to with the potato chips, she decided to go spread out and made mayonnaise and peanut butter. Now, I'm not too sure if you can still find the mayonnaise in the stores, but I have been able to find peanut butter and some of the potato chips. And we have a recipe here at the museum that she used to make a mayonnaise Diablo cake. And what you did was used the mayonnaise instead of oil and eggs, because that's all she would put in her mayonnaise. She wanted everything fresh and right up to date. In 1928, Charles Scudder was in an accident where in the gas station, one of the trucks that he was working on suddenly fired up in gear and ran over him. It didn't kill him, but his injuries were so severe that he was never able to work quite as well as he could before then. And then in 1928, he died suddenly at home. Charles and Laura Scudder had 4 children, but he was much older than she was and had had 3 children by a previous marriage. His son, named after him, Charles, moved to Monterey Park and was very active in both the gas station and the food business. Plans for expansion continued, and they opened a plant in Oakland and was not able to use the Mayflower name up there, but did use Bluebird potato chips, but it was still all the same Scudder business. Advertising was something that she worked very hard at, and we have pictures of some of the ads that she placed in the Sunset magazine in the year 1954, and that helped to increase her business. And so when she decided to sell in 1957, their annual sales reached a total of $15 million annually. And she sold the business to Signal Oil and Gas. Although she and her family continued to be active in the business, she remained not totally active, and in a few years became ill and died in a Monrovia hospital in 1959. As part of her legacy, her grandson donates to the Historical Society every year $5,000 for us to give 2 $2,500 scholarships to students who are qualifications require them to be either in a nursing program, in business classes, or work for or go to school at a culinary school. And we do those every year around May, and so we will be doing that again this year. If you wish more information on Laura Scudder, we do have a video that you can come and watch at the museum, and we are open on Saturdays and Sundays from 2 to 4. Admission is free.